Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Jonathan. I am trying out a new setup for this unboxing video, which is my first one, and this is not a regular thing, but this is a new toy that I just got, and I'm really excited, and I wanted to share this with you guys. So I got the Ikan Beholder EC1 gimbal. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a stabilizer for my camera system. And for all of you who are like me and impatient, skip to these times right now to go see the different parts of this video in case you are interested in just one part and all that kind of stuff. Got it? Alright, cool. With this gimbal, why did I get it? So, for those of you who don't know, stabilizers, basically what they do is they take the shake out of the camera when you're operating it, so that's how you get like the smooth, cinematic looking stuff. And I have a couple projects coming up where it would be really useful to have one, and before I've been using a tripod with some ankle weights, and I have to stabilize it in post-production, in Premiere, and it kind of works, but you get like, you know, these weird warping effects and I don't do it well enough, and I can't move very fast, I have to be very careful, and so it makes my life a lot easier and it looks better. And I got this instead of a Steadicam because, well, first, a Steadicam, for those of you that don't know, it's like when you see those like long sticks and the camera's up top and there are weights on the bottom, and you have to balance it. And you have to balance this too, and there are pros and cons to both. But I ended up getting the gimbal just because it's a little bit more versatile. I do a lot of, you know, site-specific work, sometimes where I have to go up high or really down low really quickly in the same shot, and it's a lot harder to do that with a Steadicam. A big pro of the Steadicam is it's one mechanical piece, there are no electronics, so you know, it might short circuit, something might go wrong, the battery might die, and with a Steadicam, that's not an issue. So I might end up investing in a Steadicam later on, but I thought for my first stabilizer, this was a more versatile, better choice for what I need to do. So that being said, let's get into this unboxing. I got it earlier today, and it arrived just as I had to leave to teach, so I didn't get to open it. I was like, oh, I gotta wait for the video. So here we go. And inside the box, we have another box. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is I couldn't find anywhere where I could rent one of these, so I decided to just get it, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll just return it. The reviews and videos I've found online are kind of hit and miss. Some of them, like, they totally malfunction, they just spin in place and they don't actually do what they need to do. And others, they work great. A big reason I got this particular model is it's supposed to hold heavier loads. So with my current setup, I shoot mainly now with a Canon 5D Mark IV and a 24-70 f2 lens, so it's a pretty heavy camera setup for stabilizers, especially for motorized gimbals. So hopefully it works. Inside the smaller box is another other box. So this is a handle accessory that I got. Another box. Voila. Some promotional material, product warranty registration, a card, warranty. I'm assuming this is the manual. Nope, this is just selling me more of their gear. This is the manual, so I'll probably need to read this in a little bit. Very straightforward, simple and easy instructions. I like it. So it's in this carrying case, which is very nice. So when I'm on location and stuff, that'll be very helpful in transporting it. Unzip it. Here we've got the main body. Voila. This is the charger, batteries, strap, I guess. I'm not sure how you would use this actually without. I'd be too worried to sling it by my side. So, oh, this is right for the case. Straps for the case. Oh, they gave me a little screw. That's nice. And a little Allen wrench. This is what the inside of the case looks like. Oh, and I will say right off the bat, build quality wise, this feels very sturdy and nice, very solid. On the bottom we have a mount if I want to attach it to like a tripod or a monopod, and then the bottom unscrews, and this is where the batteries go. Cool. Alright, so now on to the balancing. Let me read this real quick actually. Alright. Oh, something I forgot to mention, I also bought extra batteries and they're still on the way, but I also got an extra, what's it called? This charger, the Nightcore Digi D4 charger. so I can charge them outside of the, so if I have like an extra set, on the go. So, So I'm probably gonna put the batteries in here now while I'm trying to balance this so I can use it tomorrow. So this comes with a car adapter actually, which is kind of nice. So if you're on the go, you can plug into your car, or like a regular wall mount or wall adapter. It got really messy really quickly. So let's get balancing. So even though it's electronic, you still have to balance it, but what's nice is the motors will help compensate, you know, in case I get a little bit off. I'm gonna pull up the video from the Ikan website and just kind of follow along. Ah! I should mount this. Hang on. This one. Voila! First got rid of the lens cap, SD card or CF card, sorry, is in, all that good stuff. Aha, like that.
Hey everyone, I'm Ramon, product manager here at Ikan, and today we are going to balance the Encoder.
Hey, Willie Ramon. I remember seeing a video of him balancing a 5D Mark IV with like one of the kit lenses, and I don't know, I can't find that video, so we'll see how this goes, because this is much heavier than what he's using. Alright, this is a little too ambitious, I think, following along and all this, so after I balance it, I will show you guys, because this might take a while. Okay, so it actually didn't take too long, like I think at most 20 minutes, and this is my first time, and I didn't realize it until the middle of the video that I was watching, but I had it backwards, so it actually did fit now. So as you can see, it's not perfectly balanced, but it's pretty close, and when it's balanced, in theory, you can kind of move it in any angle, and it kind of stays. Oh, this is a bad example, but it stays. Yeah. My one problem with this is, I don't know if you can see, but it hits the back when it is rotating. So, for example, that's a problem, because if I wanted to do like a low shot on the ground and come up, it would knock this. Now, I did some research, and it was weird because I've seen a video of the guy balancing a 5D Mark IV with, I think, a 24 to 105 f4 lens, and that worked fine. And this 24 to 72.8 is a bit heavier, which means I had to shift it back more. So I do think, even though the lens is pretty long, it's more the weight that's the issue. And if I had a slightly lighter lens, it would have worked perfectly, because I could have shifted up a little bit more, and I would have that. And to be totally honest, in most film things, I'm not going to be shooting at 2.8 anyway, so I could probably invest in like a what's it called, like a 16 to 35 f4 or something like that, and that would be perfect for most of the stuff that I'd be using this for. It just so happens that my widest lens right now for a full frame is this 24 to 70, so that kind of sucks. Like, I have no doubt it would balance perfectly well with this 50mm, which is my next widest lens. So that's something I need to think about, and maybe just I need to rent some, lighter wide angle lenses for future projects if I know that's what I need. And I haven't powered it up yet because the batteries are still charging upstairs. But I'm assuming if I had to do any basic, assuming everything works, and this being the only problem, even if it was this lens and it balanced, as long as I don't have to go from low to high or high to low, I just need to change it a little bit, and then I could do low shots, change it again, I could do, regular shots. So this isn't a huge deal breaker. I think I would still keep it. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow, and I didn't actually tighten this, so that's why I started drifting, I think. So it's not an issue with this per se. I'm doing a video shoot for a 1 mile radius project. If you guys don't know what that is, check out one of my previous vlogs where I talk about it a little bit. But we're walking around neighborhoods and filming stuff, so this would be really great if I could get it to work. And if not with my 24 to 70, then my 50mm just to test it out. So I will be showing you guys that footage once it's up. I totally forgot. This is the accessory that I bought. So I also got the double handle, I forget whatever they call it. Ooh, some assembly required. Alright, Alright, so they give you, I guess, the base plate, handle, and this is for the bottom, and screws. Let's see if I can just put this together real quick. This is pretty straightforward. I think I know put it together. And they actually don't give you instructions because I guess they figured anyone can do this. So, let's see if I can do this. Nice rubber feel. And yes, I realized I could have just there's some DIY options for the same kind of rig. But I just liked how it looked, and you know, it just kind of came with the package. It was a little bit more, but I like how it looks. Alright, that's pretty easy. So, as you can see, it's like this. The gimbal goes here, and then you can also do it this way. Just 4 screws on the bottom, and they actually have this twist thing on the bottom, so it's easier to put the gimbal on. I guess it just stinks that you can't put this on a tripod now, or anything like that. But the stands, the legs are nice, so I can just let it rest. So if I ever need to balance it again, I could just attach it straight to this. So actually, let me do that real quick. And the main reason I decided to get this was some reviews like this is actually pretty heavy. After a while, you know, this could get tiring, and this just makes it easier for a longer shoot. So like that. It feels really nice. And let me balance this again real quick, and then I'll show you again. Alright, so here's the rebalanced Ikan beholder EC1. So again, this is a 5D Mark IV, this time with a 50mm. As you can see, it's balanced. And so you can either do it this way, and I will say this does feel much nicer and sturdier. Well, not sturdier, but just like easier on my hands to do this way. And again, this is not turned on or anything because the batteries are charging. Or you can, let's see, do it like, I just did this, how do I do this? Aha! Like, look. Or like this. So if you need like a lower shot, or anything like that, and I can always just set it right down, and I have to get used to this, like that. Also, just to show you guys the case again, I added the straps, so this is what it looks like. So, and you can lengthen this. It's not bad. I will say this case is not like a Pelican case or anything, so don't expect it to like withstand a brutal beating. But you know, as far as like, you know, water and all that kind of stuff, it should do the job. It is, you know, it does have give. It's not the sturdiest plastic, but it gets the job done, you know, as far as like transporting or transportation. But there's no room for this extra double grip thing. So I have to put this in my backpack or disassemble it or something. I have to figure that out. But yeah, this I'm excited to try this out and hopefully maybe borrow a 24mm or something lens from a friend, and just to try a slightly wider lens and see how this does with it. So tomorrow I'm gonna try this setup out, I think. So stay tuned for that right now. Okay, so it's been a few days since I recorded the first part of this video, so I was able to take it out on a shoot for a 1 mile radius project. As you saw in the test footage, we were in the streets, we were running around, I was trying it high and low, all that kind of stuff, and I will say, first impressions so far, I'm really happy with how this performed. There is a bit of a learning curve. Going front and back isn't bad, but getting the camera to, or the gimbal to turn at the speed and time that you want, you kind of have to anticipate it, because when you turn, it first doesn't go with you, and that's why it makes it so smooth. So you have to kind of turn it before you need it to turn, so then it'll go at the right time. So I found out following people like improvising is a lot harder, because I don't always know if they'll go side to side, and if they go side, they'll leave the frame, and then like by the time the camera gets to them, they might be already back this way. So that was challenging. On the gimbal, I tried a Canon 70D, the 5D Mark IV, and all the different lenses and stuff you'll see in the description titles. I also tried this on my 60D, and actually the base plate wouldn't fit on. The screw on the bottom was actually a little too long, so even when I tightened it all the way, the base plate was still loose. And I tried like putting a few coins on the bottom, or like some paper, just so it would tighten, and it still wouldn't really work, because it would still slip. And actually when I put it on, I could feel the whole gimbal vibrating, like it was working too hard or something. So I think I need to like get a piece of wood or like sandpaper, something that's solid and has grip, versus the other things I guess had too much give and the weight wasn't totally distributed correctly, like with the coins. That's my guess. So I have to keep playing with that, and I have to find the right material. And it really sucks, because I was hoping I could use it on both cameras, but right now I can only use it on my 5D Mark IV. I was able to test this camera with a 24-105 f4, which is the lens I said I had remembered seeing the guy in the video use, and it did work. It had full range of motion, it balanced great. It's the video of me running down the hallway holding it really low, so it worked really well. So I do think it is just a matter of like, there's like a sweet spot for this between like the camera body, the weight, and the length and weight of the lens. So like the 50mm is almost a little too short. It was a lot harder to find like the center balance for this. It is balanced now, as you guys can. Oh, wow, bad example again. It was doing it fine just a moment ago. That's so sad. It is pretty balanced. Okay, not perfectly balanced, I guess. Especially on the side. That's weird. Yeah, it's a lot harder to do it actually with such a short lens. It's just finding the right combinations. And I will say we were shooting for probably 2 to 3 hours, and the battery was fine. It's still set, like the bars are still full. So there we go. Move forward and back. And so there are I think 4 modes. I've only really used the first 2. So mode 1, it's totally locked, so no matter where I take it, it'll stay locked to the front. So I can turn this and it won't do anything. Mode 2, it'll pan now, so I can turn it, and this is, see how it's delayed a little bit? But it won't tilt. Mode 3, now it'll tilt, supposedly, although I found it was kind of weird. Like, it doesn't really tilt with me, or I just have to play with this more. Oh, it is tilting. And then it does still pan. And then mode 4, now it kind of goes everywhere. So I guess if you really want a crazy look, or yeah, then this is what you would do. I don't think I would ever use this mode. Honestly, I see myself using 1 and 2 the most. And then 5 just kind of resets it. You can do it this way, or turn off real quick. Still haven't figured out the smoothest way to do this. Hold the power button. And it's the exact same thing. So here, mode 1. And so this is how I was holding it for that shot in the hallway. I was actually holding it like this. as I was running, and that works really well. Then here you can still come up if you needed to. Also turn. So all the modes work in this position as well. There's also this joystick. I have to just practice this more, I guess, so you can tilt. And then you can also pan. And with the encoders, it lets you do a full 360. You can't control the speed, so it's always at this. This is how fast it'll pan if you tell it to pan, or tilt. Same thing. Like it'll only go this fast, which is not great. I wish there was a way for it, like if I pressed harder, then it would turn faster, kind of thing. Also, I found it was really hard to, when I'm like actually using it and moving it, it's hard to go straight to the side. I would sometimes, like, when I thought I was hitting the side, it would also go up, and like I would start to, like, you know, mess up a little bit. Sorry. So yeah, that I'm probably not going to use the joystick a whole lot, to be totally honest. Also, another fun thing that I don't know if I'd ever really use is you can hold it in for 2 seconds in any position, and it's supposed to stay there. So if I needed some crazy angle, or if I needed like a little bit higher to start up, you know, then that's a really easy way to do it, and I don't have to rebalance everything to make it, you know, do that. And if I ever need to, I can always just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, oops, 5. It's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it'll reset. As you can see, I used warp stabilizer in the comparisons, and sometimes it worked really well, other times it didn't. When I was running in the hallway low, I think the non-warp stabilized footage actually looks better. I think it just depends on like the jitters, and the turning seems to still make it, the warp artifacts show up a little bit. For those of you that don't know what it is, that's when you see all it's like the screen jumps or jitters almost, and that's because the program is trying to compensate for the shaking, and sometimes, like especially turning, it doesn't do great with that. And you have to like walk with your knees bent in a kind of in a plie, so to avoid this up-down motion, because this can get rid of like all of this jittering, but it doesn't get rid of this jittering. So like when I'm running, I still have to make sure I'm always in a like a low plie as I'm running, and I can't be like bouncing too crazy either. So far, I am very happy with it. I'm planning to rent a 16 to 35 millimeter just to try it out, because it's roughly the same weight as the 24 to 105, but even wider. So I'm going on a shoot this weekend, and I'm really excited to see. Hopefully it'll work. I will post a link to all that footage once it's edited and up, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys sooner than that. For most of the people that watch my channel, like the 5 people that watch this channel, you're all dancers for the most part. So why would I put this video out when you're probably not that interested in this kind of stuff? Well, 1, it's a new toy, I just wanted to. 2, I think it's really important that as artists and dancers, we educate ourselves in all this digital media technology and equipment, and you know, all this stuff that's coming along, because it's relevant. You know, you need to know how to do this stuff if you're going to market yourself properly. Talking to a collaborator, you need to kind of know the basics. You have an easier time conveying your ideas, right? You might pay someone else to shoot the video for you, but if you know, a wide angle lens versus a telephoto lens, what are the effects of that? Oh, I want this frame rate because I want this effect. Do you need a stabilizer? Do you want it on a tripod? Do you want low, high? Is it a panning shot? Are you tilting? Are you stationary? Basic things like that. You know, you never want to dictate what to do, I don't think, because then it's not collaborative. You're paying the other person to do their job, so let them do the job. But, giving suggestions is always helpful, I think, as long as, if you don't do it too much. Don't micromanage. Also, price. This is a big reason why I have a problem with, how do I say this without offending sending someone. I'm just gonna say it. People, pay your collaborators. At least in the DC area, there's kind of this culture of, you know, and I get it because we're all, you know, broke, or not broke, but funds are tight. So you want to make this project, you have this awesome vision, and then you try to find the cheapest way to do it. And a lot of times that means not paying people who are helping you on the project. I have mixed feelings about it. You know, dancers, I get it because, you know, if you have a cast of like 10 people, I mean, you can't really afford to pay them much or at all and make it worth their time. But as dancers, you know, we help each other out. You might have a project that you need dancers for, so then we'll swap. Things like that, you know, and dancers always need portfolio builders. There's a kind of a leeway there, maybe. But then with like a photographer, a videographer, a sound designer, a costume designer. These are other professions where you have no or very little experience in, and so you need their help to get your vision to where it needs to be. So many times, you know, I've heard stories of, you know, friends like, oh, you know, can you help me with this project? We're friends, so I'm assuming you're gonna give me a low price. And then they hear how much, you know, we're charging, and you're like, oh, never mind, I'll find someone else. And I totally get it, you know, again, funds are tight, and you do want to find the best option for you, but keep in mind, when videographers or photographers or whatever designer or other artist, when they charge you, right, they're taking into consideration all the equipment they might have to buy, all of the classes they might have had to pay for, all the time they've been practicing, the time it'll take to make the content you're asking for, all the time going back and forth, feedback, making edits. For example, for this setup, this gimbal with this double handle accessory was about $1,000, and that's not including the extra charger and extra batteries that I bought. Just the body alone, not the lens, just the body, new. Also keep in mind this is like one of the newest models that just came out, but it costs $3,500. The lens that I normally shoot with, brand new, it's around $2,000, and I bought it used from a friend. This can get so expensive so quickly. I also have to buy editing software, classes, then there's the time traveling to the location, shooting time, editing time, going back and forth with drafts. So a lot of work goes into one video shoot. And I think everyone's aware of these things in the back of their head, but it doesn't really connect. So just think, all of this, just this, is around $5,000. And if you're offering to pay me $50 to shoot your video, how many shoots do I have to do just to make back the money I've spent on this gear? Oh, and there's also insurance. So that's just to put some things in perspective. And I want to make it clear that gear is not the most important factor. It's really more the skill and creativity of the artists that are involved in collaborating. You can make an amazing video without a stabilizer, with an older body, a kit lens, but all of these things help, and things that we have invested in to make the product we give you even better. So all that to say, I guess, is just recognize the value in your collaborators, whether that's a videographer, photographer, dancer, sound designer, anything, and support each other's artists. I think the more that we undercut and devalue each other, the more that hurts us, because if we as fellow artists don't see the value in each other, how are we supposed to make the rest of the world see our value? Alright, well that is it for this video. It was a little bit different, but I hope whether you're a filmmaker or a gearhead or you're a dancer, you found something useful in this video. I try to, you know, put a lot of different things in, and I realized it was kind of all over the place. This is my first review, so I'm sorry. And it wasn't a very in-depth review either. But yeah. If you have any questions about any of the gear I used, any other thoughts about what I've said, please let me know, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Guess what? I didn't have any bloopers this time, so instead, here's some... Oh, come on.